Hey guys, welcome back to another Gaming Memories video. Here we are taking a look at a short demo version of Metal Gear Solid, one of probably the most influential games ever created and one of the biggest games to ever be released on the PlayStation platform, that has actually spawned numerous different sequels that literally pretty much helped influence and change pretty much gaming as we see it today. This game really genuinely took gaming to the next level. It was released in 1999 and was released all around different regions, both in Japan, America and even in Europe, to high acclaim. What really set this game apart at the time compared to other games, yes, there were a lot of notable franchises and different types of genres of games, and you could genuinely see the improvement over the years of the early days of the PlayStation up until that point, when games actually started to increase in popularity, in value, in production value, even in terms of acting preferences and so forth. This game really excelled at that. It really took everything that had been building up and really just brought it up to the next level. This game truly did set the standard for everything that came after it. So it did, because not only, like say, with great graphics, it had excellent storytelling, being able to engage with different environments, excellent graphics, but just it was pretty much the complete package. It pretty much everything that you would have seen, like from like action movies and like different types of genre movies, and even using stealth based action, and it literally put it all together, and it executed it almost to perfection, which, to be honest, at that time of gaming was quite unheard of. This really brought games into a whole different standpoint, and it really kind of just brought it into a whole new level, to a point that you're literally now being able to play games with movie style quality. So it was definitely unique. It changed so many things with gaming. It broke so many records. It definitely exceeded a lot of boundaries within the games industry at that point, because it was so well written, it was so well put together, and it had the emphasis of the entire game. Just as the story progressed, your choices definitely helped you influence what was going on in the game, how you got through different types of environments and levels, whether you were able to get through them with ease, or whether you were literally going to have your hands full trying to take out enemies and trying to avoid them. So it was definitely a cool feature, because you really had to be tactical and you really had to think about what you were doing as you were playing this game, because everything that you did had an influence on your environment, which was definitely quite unheard of with games, because every interaction that you had some influence, because you could actually react, this environment would react to you, like in terms of characters. If you made noises or if you did something out of the ordinary, you would capture the attention of other NPCs or computer controlled players or the enemies, and it just really just took it to a whole new level. It really is an incredible game. Now, my first actual experience with it was actually within a demo. I used to collect the monthly magazines from the UK PlayStation magazine. I remember I used to always save up my pocket money every month, and I used to actually go and actually buy the magazines. I actually love doing it because I just love playing the demo discs. I actually am going to be creating more videos on demos, because I still actually have a load of my old demo discs here at home, and I think the demos on the PlayStation don't get enough love. So I definitely am going to be creating a whole series of videos just around the demo discs and the games that were on them, and just sharing experiences and so forth, because they really are worth talking about. Because there really are some hidden gems, some games that you never even would have heard of or even known. You would have only experienced them through the demos, and it just is quite incredible. So I will be making videos of that, so make sure to keep an eye out for them in the future. But with this game here, going back to it again, this was my first experience, was actually playing it on a demo, and it was part of one of those monthly magazines. Now the demo like this here, it was quite short, but you were completely blown away by the whole aesthetic of the game, because it really felt like you were watching an actual movie, which was incredible. Everything just really just blew everything out of the water. Like I said, this thing really did set the standard. Like the camera angles, the visuals, even the whole look and feel of the game was really beyond anything that had ever been seen on any console at that point. That's why this game is such an influence, because it really completely changed the look and feel of games as we know and see them today. Because all modern games now, especially with narrative and storytelling, would use concepts based of what's actually in this game. Great voice acting, storytelling, and pretty much action sequences. This game really started that trend. Even though there was other similar games or other games in different genres that used similar type of features, and they were executed really well, but like I mentioned, this here really did take it to the whole new level. And it's so iconic. Such an incredible game. And like so with these scenes here on the original start section on Shadow Moses Island will never be forgotten. I remember going back even in years later, going back to playing like Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PlayStation 3, and I absolutely loved that. Apart from the first game, Metal Gear Solid 4 would be my next favourite in the series. And there was a section in that game where you actually got to play through this first section again. It was like going back, like a time lapse where you're going back like a dream, or kind of like a dream kind of sequence. So you got to play this again, which was quite awesome. So you got to reflect on that. But even at that would have opened up the door for a lot of people to actually experience this version of the game that may never have actually gotten to play it back in the day. So it would bring it to a whole new audience. This game really is something else, like, so it's just you could talk all day about it actually, because like I said, it really did set the benchmark in terms of graphics, storytelling, even movie style quality characteristics. This game really just had it all. That's what was so incredible. But when I did get the demo, remember the one thing I used to love about playing the demos, and this one here was no exception, you would always try to find all the hidden secrets. You'd always try to see if you could find glitches, or if you could somehow kind of break the game, or sort of try to find something that nobody else would actually even think of. And I love games where you can actually just go around and spend ages just exploring and just taking your time. And this here demo allowed me to do that. Even though it is very short, you don't really go that far, but there is plenty of places within the demo that you can actually search and kind of have a wee nosy around and see what's there. Because even when you have played it a couple of times over, there is certain places that you may have not seen, and then you may have missed an item or something that you may not have actually seen the first time you played it, which was quite cool. And the one thing I loved about this actual game was the fact is that your environment had a lot to do with how you played the game. Like, you can hide in different areas to get out of the way, which you couldn't do. Like, if you played other games were quite generic and linear. You didn't have access to that to be able to manipulate the environment and to use it to your advantage or disadvantage depending on the situation. And you could pretty much choose how you really wanted to play the game, whether you wanted to sneak around or whether you just wanted to go gung-ho and just literally take everybody out. You actually had that choice. That's what was really cool, and it was quite unheard of for games at that time, because stealth games weren't really a thing back then. So they weren't. This was one of the first games to really implement that strategy, but it executed almost flawlessly. So it's definitely an incredible game for sure. And this was the game that really introduced the world to the character of Solid Snake. This is what made the character so iconic. Even though there was previous versions of the Metal Gear series originally on Nintendo consoles, like the Nintendo and the Nintendo Game Boy, but it wasn't really until this game actually came out on the PlayStation that it literally just took it to a whole new level. And it really is such a cool game. And I'm sure for those of you that are fans of Metal Gear and that have played it, you'll totally agree, because it really is. And even for those that have never played it, you do need to experience this. Especially if you're into your games and you want to try and see something that really kind of set the standard for a lot of other games that have come and gone over the years. This really is the go-to game. So it is. It's hard to believe that this here game, like it really did set that standard. You know, it really is just something else. It really is incredible. And the fact is, even I love the fact that you can explore, but you can also use, like, say, manipulating the environment. You can actually hide inside the trucks and stuff, so forth, even inside the cardboard boxes, which was hilarious. So there was a fun element to it as well. You could really have a good bit of fun with it too. So yeah, it's definitely an awesome title. So I highly recommend, if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid, I really do hope that you actually do give yourself the chance to actually go and have a look at it and see what you think for yourself, because you won't regret it. It definitely is a unique style game, and it's very different compared to a lot of other games out there. But if you're a fan of this type of genre of games, it's definitely one of the best games you'll ever play, for sure. So, what are your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid, and even just playing, like, say, demos in general? Did you like playing games as much on demos, or even just the full games? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, so make sure to share them in the comments below. So if you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. Also hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be updated whenever I release future content, and also share the video, as I'm going to be re-exploring other classic games from back in the day, and I'm also going to be sharing my experiences even with demos and so forth as well that I would have played, and sharing all those views with everyone. So make sure to keep an eye out for that also. So until next time, make sure to keep playing those classic games and enjoying them, and keep those gaming memories alive.